Hello everyone, welcome back to SFDC Panther. My name is Amit Singh, and in the previous videos we have talked about the data elements, which is get record, update record, delete record, as well as create record. So in this video we will talk about what is Subflow and how effectively we can use Subflow in our Flow Builder series. Before we go ahead, please do like, share, subscribe the channel, and also press the bell icon so that you don't miss any update from our channel. And we also keep motivated for putting the videos. So before we go ahead, let's quickly talk about the scenario that we have here is, so there is a case object inside Salesforce, which is a standard object. And if we create a case, we can create a case under contact, we can create a case under account based on standard fields that are available there. Now, what if, suppose that we are on the account page and then we are on the contact page. Okay? We have two different flows and both are for creating the case. So what we will do is, we will create a common component which is going to be our case, which is going to be our flow component. Okay, here we will have the different set of inputs that we will be using for creating the case records. And then if we are there, we will call this flow from our account flow, as well as we will call this flow from our contact flow. And then we will have one more flow which is going to have the error flow, because we have seen that there are multiple cases we wanted to use the error messages, we wanted to display the error message. So for that we will create one more flow which will just display the error message. So now what we have is, we have one component which is for case, we have one component which is for error, and then we have two components, one for contact and one for account. So we are going to total create four components, four flow builders, and then we will see how to use the subflows on the parent component, which will be either account or contact. So to do that, you already know how to create a flow builder, how to create a flow. Just navigate there and then click on new flow, and then here it will be a screen flow, because that is what our series is working fine. So here we've got, right, so this is going to be our error flow. Okay, first thing we will say, it is an error flow. So let's quickly add an screen here, and label, you can say that error screen. And then for the display text, you already know what exactly we are going to display here is, we will display flow dot error message, sorry, fault message is the variable that we have. And then if you want to change the font size, or if you wanted to change the color, whatever you want, you can do that. So this is the very first flow which we are going to have here is, we will go ahead and save this. And to save this, what we will have is, we will say it is going to have the subflow, and then we will say that it is our screen flow, sorry, error flow. The reason why we are saying that subflow, so that we can easily identify that this is going to be our subflow for one of the parent flows which we will be developing. Go ahead and save this. There is nothing as such to debug this. We will quickly go ahead and activate this. So this is our first flow which we have just developed related to the error. And then we will create another flow where we will be having the input related to case. So before we go here and create the inputs, let's quickly have what all inputs we have. So here we are on the case record page. We will create new, click on new button, and here you will see we've got status, priority, case origin. These are the three picklist values that we are going to have. Then we are going to have either contact or account based on what we have. Then we will have the subject and description for that case. Okay, so these are the 5 or 7 fields that we are going to have in our screen. So let's quickly develop our screen. So here we have this flow. Okay, use whatever the layout you want. And then what we have, first thing we need to find out the two input. One is for contact and one is for account. So to do that, click on new resource and then variable, and then we will say that one is going to be account ID, type of text, and available for input. Then there will be one more variable which will be for contact ID, and then this is text, and we'll say that available for input. So now in this subflow we will be able to take the input from our parent flow, that is what we say available for input. So you see here in the input we saying that available for input. That means whenever we will be running this flow, or we will be using this flow inside any flow, we will be able to get the access. We will be able to provide the values for these variables. First thing what we will have the screen flow. Okay, this screen flow will say that case information, and here we will have the values in the two different sections. So for that we will say, okay, go ahead and add the section and then add two. So we will have one field here and one field here. First thing what we will need is we will need case subject, which will be a type of text, and then we will be using what we have is case status. So let's say it is going to be a pick list. Then we will have case priority, and then there is one more. If we get back here, we have got case priority and origin. These are the pick list values. Then we have either contact or account. So for that we will have lookup field. Okay, so we'll have two lookup field. One is for contact, one is for account, and then we will have text area field. Text area which is going to have the description, and this is going to have in the single screen. Okay, so these are the fields that we want to have. Now let's quickly label these fields. So first one is subject. Okay, we have just used subject and it is a record field. Let's make text area as a description and make sure it is also required, so that user must enter the description for a case. Now we have got this lookup. So first let's prepare the lookup, which will say that it is account. Field API name, which is the field API name on the case. Again, it is the standard field, it is account ID. And then label, we will say that again it is account. Object API name is case, and then record ID, we already have this variable account ID. Okay, so if there is any value, it will be auto populated over here. Then we will add the visibility. So what visibility we will add? We will add select and then new condition, we say that if variable account ID does not equals to null. That means if there is value in the account ID, then only display this account lookup. Similarly, we will have setup for our contact. Field API name is contact ID on the case object. Label is going to be contact, or instead of contact we can say it is a customer. Case, object API name is again going to be case. Record ID is, this time it will be contact ID, and then visibility again going to be here. So we'll say that, okay, click on and say that variable contact ID does not equals to null, and then click on done. Okay, so if any of these variable is true, then only this visibility will be set to on, and we will be able to see these records. Then we have to prepare this status, then make sure it is a record field, and choice we will be adding new resource, and we have already talked about how to create a picklist field. So we will say that new choice set and select picklist choice set, and we will say that variable case status. Object is going to be case, data type is picklist, and then field name is going to be status. That's what we have for one particular picklist for status. And then we have priority. Make sure it is also required. Choice set is, again we have to create a choice set. We will select picklist choice set, and we will say that variable case priority. Object is again going to be our case, data type is picklist, and this time the picklist is priority. And then similarly do the same for case origin. So we have just prepared all the details, all the fields that we needed to have over here, and then click on done. Okay, now we have this here. So what we will do is we will say that, okay, click on this add element and then create a record, because we have to create the record, right? So we will say, okay, create a records, and we will say that create case record, and then we will create one record. We will say we will create use separate values. Then object is case, and you already know how to do the assignment for the fields, whatever the field that you have in your screen. So we have to assign for both the contact ID as well as for account ID. And if we don't have anything on the contact or on the account, we will see if we are able to get the error or not. So we have just provided the values, all the values over here. Okay, we got like account, contact, status, origin, priority, subject, and description. And then we will say that manually assign variables. Okay, we say that store case ID in a variable. If we want to store the case ID, we can just create a variable. Okay, we say that new resource and then create a variable, and we can say that where case ID. Data type is text. This time make sure that it is available for output, so that user who is using this flow on the parent flow, we can access these variables. and then we have got this case ID and click on done. This creation is done. We can add a fault path, and then here under fault path just click on done and then select this subflow. Okay, then subflow, here we will talk about our flow, which is going to be subflow error flow. Okay, now here what is happening, we are handling the error and then we are calling our flow. So this is the one place where we have used our subflow for any error. Okay, and then this will display the error, whatever the error is there. Then what we will have is, we will say click on save. Again, this is the subflow. So we'll say that subflow create case record. Click on done, and then this time we will debug this because we have something to test. So we will say that okay, click on debug, and then to test this we have to find out either a contact ID or a account ID. So we will figure out any contact or account. This is the account ID which I'm going to test with. So in subflow it is asking either account or contact, so I'll say okay, this is going to be an account and then click on run. So this should not display the contact. So we got this account. Okay, we'll say that test subflow status, we can say working, case origin is email, priority is medium or say low, and then test subflow, click on next. And you can see here on the right hand side we got this create case record, and this is the case ID which has been created. So if we get back here on the Salesforce and then replace the account ID with the case ID, although we are on the account detail page, it will navigate us to the case, which is the proper record detail which we are looking for. So you can see here we have got this case record, right? Whatever the detail we wanted to have, and everything, single thing is here that we needed. So that is our subflow which is working fine. We will go ahead and activate this. So till now what we did is we created an error subflow, then we created a subflow for our case, and now we will create the flow which will be our account flow, from where we are going to call our flow which is going to create subflow. So to create the flow, just go ahead and follow the same process, and what we will have is immediately we don't need anything, right? Just need to call the create subflow. Okay, and as this flow will be sitting on the account detail page, to read the account record ID we need a variable. So we will say that okay, the variable name is going to record ID, data type is text and available for input. Click on done. Now just click here on the plus icon and select subflow. What we need here is we need subflow create case record, and then it is asking what variable you wanted to pass to the subflow. So we want to pass a record ID, which is variable record ID, sorry, account ID, and we'll pass which is our record ID. Okay, and if you wanted to manually assign the variable, you can also assign. If you don't want, you can leave as it is, but I will show you how to do that. So click on manually assign ID. Now you see here, this is the record ID which we have created on the subflow, and this is what we are seeing here. So it is saying that if you wanted to store the case ID, where you will store, so we can say that okay, create new variable, and we will say that variable case ID, data type is text, and we don't want any input or anything. Okay, so we have got this. We will click on done. Again, even if there is any error here, we are doing the error handling there, so we don't need to do anything. You see here, there is nothing to do. And then after that, if you wanted to display a screen element, okay, say that okay, success, and you say that okay, the record has been created successfully. So you say here whatever you wanted to add as a success message. So this is what you have got, right? This is the API name. And then here in the header, you don't want this previous, or you don't want this pause button. So you can say configure footer and then remove this pause button. You don't need. We'll say that hide pause button. Okay, that's what we actually need here. And then we'll go ahead and save it. And this time what we will say is, we will say it is create case on account. Okay, create case on account flow. Click on done, and then we can quickly go ahead and activate this. So this is again a very simple flow which we have used, subflow. Now there could be multiple requirements where you wanted to split those requirements in the multiple subflows. We will talk about those as well in the coming videos, because this is going to be a full-fledged series for Flow Builder. So this is about our contact. Similarly, you can have a flow for our, sorry, this flow was for account. Similarly, you can have a flow for your contact. And in case of contact, you have two things, right? You can also send the account ID, and then you can say, okay, this contact is related, or sorry, this case is related to this particular contact as well as this account. We will see how we can do that. So first thing to read the contact ID, we will create a variable that you already know, and we'll say that, okay, this is the record ID, type is text, available for input. And then if you wanted to pass the account ID as well, you can say, okay, click on done. And here first thing what you will do is you will get the record, because you need to have the account ID. So you can say here, okay, get contact record, object is going to be your contact, and here condition you can say, okay, whatever the ID you have, so you say that ID equals to whatever record ID you have got. Then only the first record which we want will, so that, okay, here. Then again here you can just go ahead, add a fault path, and then in the fault path you can say, okay, use a subflow, and then you will have that error flow. You can just use that error flow. If there is any error, it will display the error over here by calling that subflow. Now here you have got this contact record. You can put a condition over here, okay, so you can say, okay, let's say that assignment, not assignment, actually the condition. We will say that if contact account is not null, okay, so let's say here decision, so we will say that account is null, and here it will say that account is not null, okay. For this condition what we will have is, we will say, okay, contact record from our get record, and we will say if account ID equals to null, that means account is null, okay, otherwise account is not null. We have got two things, right? Account is null and account is not null. If account is null, we will call a subflow with less variable. So we'll say that, okay, subflow, create a case record, and we will only pass the contact ID, which is our record ID, because our account is null and we cannot pass this account ID. We will say that, okay, click on done. If account is not null, we will again call a subflow, the same subflow, okay, and here this time we will pass both the variables. Account ID, this account ID is going to be the contact from get record, okay, and then we will say that, okay, we have got this account ID, and the value that we will get is, we already have this record ID, so we will say pass contact ID for a particular, sorry, for pass record ID for contact ID, and then click on done. So this time you have got these two subflows, okay. Both the subflows are okay. There is a typo mistake over here, so we'll say record. Both the subflows are same, but having some additional input parameters. And then at the end you can have that screen which will say, okay, go ahead and add a screen which will use success information, and then here you can have whatever you wanted to have. Similarly, the message we can copy here from our other flow that we have created. So we will say that case record created successfully, and then again we wanted to hide the pause button, so we'll say that, okay, hide pause button, and then, okay, click on, sorry, this one, and then we'll say click on done. So we've got our flow, okay. This is the parent flow which is calling different flows. Now we can have multiple flows as we discussed. So let's quickly go ahead and save here, and we will say that case on contact record, and then go ahead and click on save, and we can activate this, okay. To test this, what we will do is, we will go to the object manager. Because we have developed 4 different flows, we will test on the contact record. We'll say, okay, this is the contact, search for the contact, open the contact record, and then select button links and actions, create new action, and instead of create a record, select flow, and then here you can see case on contact record flow. This is our flow which we need, and label we will say that, okay, quick case. Go ahead and save this. What you have done is, you have created an action on contact record. You still need to add this action on the layout, so just go to the page layout, figure out what is the correct page layout. For me it is a contact page layout where I wanted to add. Just open that page layout, and then here under this mobile and lightning action, select that, and what you have to do is, you just need to find out this quick case, okay, just drag and drop over here. This is the quick case that we have just created. I will do the quick save, so that if I need to modify again, I can just quickly come back here. Now to test this, what I will do is, I will open any simple contact, any random contact that I have. Let's say that I have this Bethy, and then here you can see this is the quick case, right? We are able to see, if we click on quick case, You can see we are getting subject, we are getting status, and we are getting both account and contact. Now if we click on cancel, okay, let's say if we click on cancel and I'm removing this contact, sorry, I'm removing this account for the contact, just to test this, that this time account should not be displaying on the flow page. You can see here account has been removed. Now we are only able to see the contact. So basically that is how our flow is working. Let's quickly go there, add the account and then test the flow. So we'll add this account, the different account, we don't care about that. Go ahead and click on quick case. We got this account and we will say that okay, so the subject is generator is not working. Status you can select it is new. Case origin is, let's say, phone. Priority will make it as high, and then description is, you can say, generator is not working. Go ahead and click on next. So if there will be any error, you will see the error message. If not, you will say that record created successfully. If you click on finish, it will show you if we have this related section related to the case. We can see here there is one case which is saying that generator not working. If you open this case, you will see the case is related with both account and contact. You can see here you have got this case details, you've got this contact detail, as well as you got this account detail. So this is how basically you use subflow in your flow builders, in your screen flows. One thing that you need to notice here is whenever you are using subflow inside a screen flow, that subflow must be a type of screen flow. You cannot use a record triggered flow or kind of thing. That must be a screen flow, or that subflow might be using some sort of uh, calling that FS class that you can have that inside your subflow. Okay. So this is it for this video. Thank you for your time. And in the next video, we will talk about how to use the rollback element. That is again a very important update coming from Winter 22. We will see how to use that rollback element inside ScreenFlow. And before you go ahead, please do like, share, subscribe the channel, and also share with your colleagues and friends. Thank you.